Hey, welcome back to Soul Whispers Tarot. I'm here again with another pick a card reading. Today's reading is, how does this person truly feel about you? So another juicy question. We're going to look really deeply into their feelings, their emotions, what they want to happen, and all things like that. So today I'm using the really lovely Oceanic Tarot. And I just really love the colours in this. My favourite colours are light green and light blue, and there's a lot of those colours in this deck. And I also really love the fact that each card has a descriptive word on them as well. So that's really helpful, and it's really interesting to see how the creator of this deck interprets the cards with those messages. So if you would like an additional reading every single week, which is exclusive to my email subscribers, then please sign up to those by clicking on the link below this video. So in today's reading, we have 3 sets of cards, and set of cards number 1 is the amber. Set of cards number 2 is the pink cluster crystal, and set of cards number 3 is the purple crystal. So I'll give you a little while to tune into the energies of the cards and see which one resonates with you the most. And it's fine to be drawn to more than one set of cards, whatever resonates with you, whatever calls out to you. So you can pause the video right now, but I'll also leave a few quiet moments as well. Okay, so let's get into the reading. So this is set of cards number 1. You've chosen the amber. So how does this person truly feel about you? We've got the Oceanic Tarot and also my Oracle deck, Our Eternal Love, with the channeled messages on. And then we're going to be looking into the messages in here as well. Okay, so how does this person truly feel about you? So there's the Sun or happiness in reverse. There's the 8 of Swords, restriction. The King of Cups, understanding. The Chariot in reverse or movement in reverse. These are quite large cards, so I'll try and fit them all on. The 5 of Cups in reverse, sadness in reverse. Okay, just move it over a little bit like that. The 3 of Wands, motivation. The 5 of Swords, conflict. Illusion. The 9 of Cups. Sorry, that was the moon illusion. I don't know if I just said that. My mind was elsewhere for a moment. The 9 of Cups, a wish. And the 7 of Wands, endurance. And from these cards we have, I don't know where they're going to fit on the screen. I'm so grateful for all that I have learned from you and our connection. Thank you. No one will ever love me like you do, and no one will ever love you like I do. Okay, I'll just put them at the bottom here, even though they don't fit in. I just want to be with you, period. I've been hinting to you about my feelings because I'm afraid I'll be rejected. And why does everything have to be so complicated? Okay. Right, so how does this person truly feel about you at this time? So there's happiness in reverse, and it's right next to the 8 of Swords, which says restriction. I feel as though this person is seeing that their happiness has been restricted right now. What I'm picking up on is because there's the Five of Cups here, there's been some kind of separation between you or some kind of loss. It feels as though things haven't worked out in the way that this person hoped in the past. And I also feel it's to do with this restriction card. They may have been restricting the happiness of this connection in the past because they were struggling to move forward. You know, I'm not trying to place blame on anyone in this situation. People can only do the best, you know, with the understanding they have at the time. Understanding here, you know, this person wasn't in the right frame of mind. They didn't have the knowledge or realizations that they needed to be able to move this connection forward. And so they've had a lot of sadness about a separation that has occurred, or, you know, it could be just a separation because of feeling restricted. And not being able to step forward, whether they have things going on in their life that's blocking them, or whether it's like a mental block, not feeling good enough, because there is the Sun in reverse, happiness in reverse. I just feel like this person's not been happy within themselves and in their life. So this person could be suffering with depression. And, you know, whatever vibration we are in is what we attract. We don't always, you know, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. And so this person, I feel like they have really wanted to be with you. They've wanted that, but they aren't that vibration to be able to align with that. And likely, many of you will be mirrors of that, because many, if not all, relationships are reflections of ourselves in some way, or they highlight parts of ourselves to us. So just looking at these channeled messages here, no one will ever love me like you do, and no one will ever love you like I do. So this person is feeling a lot of sadness. It's like they're coming out of sadness with the Five of Cups in the reverse position. There may be some kind of new opportunity that's opening up within your connection. Yeah, Five of Swords, there was conflict here. This person is feeling motivated to overcome their illusions of the moon. Their wish is for movement forward within your connection. They wish for you to understand. They have this understanding here now as well, with everything that they've learned with this King of Cups card. And I'm so grateful for all I have learned from you and our connection. Thank you. So yeah, it was literally a case that they didn't have the understanding. They didn't really know what they were doing, or what was going on, or what this connection meant, or how to heal themselves in the past. And that lack of peace within themselves, because often the Sun shows the children, just like in this card. So it's like this person, and I do feel your mirrors, like I said before, there's had a wounded inner child, or you both did, and so there needed to be that healing. There needed to be that understanding. This person's learnt from some mistakes that they made. There may be a lack of movement in your connection. You know, maybe you turned your back on this person, or you walked away, and now they're feeling as though the ball's in your court in a way. Like it's their turn to like make the effort. They need to step up. They need to meet you halfway. They need to be their true self. But then at the same time, the ball's in your court, whether you accept them with open arms, or whether you still have these 8 swords, like restricting the connection, you know, not fully letting them in. So they are understanding. If you're mad at them, or if you're really upset and deeply hurt by this person, and you're kind of keeping them at a distance, and you're no longer like waiting around for this person understands why. And they feel that happiness has been restricted or kept from them because there is this lack of movement. There's this block in the way, but they understand why that happened. They feel a lot of sadness because of what's happened. They know that you feel a lot of sadness. But that's in the reverse position. So the 5 of Cups in reverse, you know, it normally shows 3 cups that are spilt over that the person's concentrating on, but they don't seem to realize that there's 2 cups still standing upright. So there's still hope. The 2 cups standing upright is like the 2 of Cups card, the happy relationship. So they're coming out of sadness. This person is feeling some kind of hope. Maybe there's been some kind of reconnection between you both, or this person's had some kind of epiphany and there's been major healing within the connection. And so there's more harmony within, and more harmony, therefore, within your connection as well. So they're feeling very motivated at this time, motivated to heal this conflict. I feel like the conflict was to do with this illusion, the moon. So it could have been that there were, you know, most people would say there could have been like lies or deception with that illusion. But I feel it's more than that. I feel like on both sides again, because they're like mirrors here, there was illusions being projected into this connection. It could have been the illusion of, oh, I love this person more than what they love me. Like you both felt that way. You both had fears that the other would reject you. And it was playing out most likely in slightly different ways, but it was the same core wound. There's an understanding now of the illusions. But the illusions could also be anything like wearing masks, you know, trying to impress the other person because you don't feel, or you don't believe the other person's going to love the real you. So that's just a reflection of your own lack of self-esteem within you both. Or illusions could be, you know, projecting fantasies, because there's the 9 of Cups here and it's called a wish. So it could be like wishes, daydreaming into the realm of like fantasizing or living this connection through the mental realm rather than it fully being grounded. So, you know, it could have been head in the clouds in certain ways and kind of getting caught up in that, kind of getting addicted to that form of escapism, maybe subconsciously because there was inner child wounds, projecting those wounds into the connection, believing that this other person was your savior and then believing that you're their savior, to love them in all the ways that they didn't feel loved by their parents, for example. So an illusion that the one meant that the person that would love you to the point of, you know, filling in that void that we all need to fill in within ourselves. We all need to reach that self-love within. So this person, they have an understanding of the illusions and how that created the conflict and how that turned like this chariot upside down. It's like maybe both of you were trying to have movement forward, but it was in unhealthy ways. And I feel like it was just a lack of understanding about what needed to really be done in terms of healing on both sides. But it sort of threw you off course, and it may have felt like a complete separation or a breakdown of the connection. But this person, they see you as their wish come true. They're wishing, hoping and praying that your connection will have this endurance, that your connection will persevere, that the love is going to endure, that you're both going to stand strong and get stronger through the adversities that have happened. So yeah, they're grateful that they've learnt so much from you and from the connection. No one will ever love me like you do, and no one will ever love you like I do. So they have an understanding of this before. Maybe they were caught up in illusion or conditioning, or they just couldn't see clearly the truth in their heart about their feelings for you in the past. because this sword, the thoughts, the mental energy was kind of blocking them from realizing what was in their heart. And, you know, the moon is also about fear of going down the path of the unknown, the fear of looking inwards, the fear of the depth of the emotions that they felt for you and that you felt for them. I just want to be with you, period. So that has always been the truth of their feelings deep down. For a while, they may not have realized it. They may have felt overwhelmed if you were basing your sense of happiness on their shoulders, on whether they were going to commit to you or not. And I feel like they were basing their happiness on this connection as well, whether it would work out or whether it wouldn't. Most of you watching this will be female and you'll be thinking about a male. But, you know, I do know it will be other examples as well. But for the most part, it's that. And so the traditional male role is to be the provider and to be strong. And, you know, whether this is stereotyping or not, this is, you know, what this person believes they should be. And they just didn't feel that way. They didn't feel like they could provide you with much. And they could tell that you were wanting that from them. They could tell that you had all these hopes and maybe even expectations that they were going to be this strong person and give you everything that they wanted to give you as well, but they felt like they couldn't. I feel this person is a strong person, but they just weren't believing that about themselves. And so they were restricting themselves heavily and therefore holding back because they felt like they were going to fail. And they didn't want to fail. They didn't want to fail in your eyes. They didn't want you to be disappointed and walk away for good. But then, ironically, of trying to run away and avoid that has kind of led to the breakdown as well. But again, I'm not saying it's all their fault or anything. I feel like these things happen for good reasons, for healing, for learning on both sides. You know, you may have learned how to have healthy boundaries. You may have learned to not put all your happiness eggs in one basket, in this basket, you know. You may have both centered your lives around each other too much. It's too much codependency. So there needed to be a breakdown, and maybe it needed to be something really painful to really, really motivate you to truly surrender. Yeah, look, motivation, conflict. You needed the conflict to really motivate you to surrender. Otherwise, you would have both kept holding on too much to each other. I've been hinting to you about my feelings because I'm afraid I'll be rejected. So yeah, they've been hinting, but they may not have fully been coming forward, or they're going to be hinting to you very soon, but they may be afraid that they're going to be rejected. So they may be testing the waters, you know, no pun intended, to see what your reaction's going to be. Why does everything have to be so complicated? So yeah, they felt a lot of sadness is what I'm picking up, because they also feel as though things have been complicated. You know, they've really wanted to be with you. They've wanted things to run smoothly, but it hasn't worked out that way. It hasn't been that easy. And I do feel it's probably because there's karma lessons to be learned. You had a soul contract that you were going to trigger each other in certain ways to bring up soul wounds from past lives as well, and in order to work through them. You know, if these blocks don't get triggered, then they just remain in the subconscious and don't help anyone. So let's look into these messages here. Stuck in illusion, and that was the card. Where is that? The moon, illusion. So yeah, this person was stuck in illusion, and your connection was stuck in illusion for a long time. Illusions are, like I said, masks fears of rejection. But I feel like this is a twin flame connection, so that is an illusion. You cannot be rejected in truth by your twin flame because your connection is based on love. But yeah, it could be you're both wearing masks. You're trying to both prove yourselves to each other through those masks, but it's an illusion. The truth, something real, cannot manifest out of illusions or falseness, you know. Regret. So yeah, this person feels a lot of regret about what's happened in the past. They want to come forward with an explanation, is what I'm feeling. In a way, they wish they could turn back time, but they have this understanding that things had to happen the way they did in order for that awakening and healing to happen through that triggering. Crying. So this person has been in tears at times, but Spirit is saying it's like tears of absolute joy because you are their twin flame, but also those tears of sadness, and they know that they've put you through tears and sadness and heartbreak, and yeah, they regret that. They regret it's because they were stuck in illusion. They were stuck in illusion. Soulmate. So yeah, this is your soulmate or your twin flame. They realize that. They have that understanding now. You know, there may have been so much pressure being put onto this connection that they couldn't see it for what it really is. You know, some people may be triggered by what I'm about to say, but some of you, you're really going to understand what I say and it's going to be helpful. You know, some of you may have had really deep childhood wounds, or you may have had past life, like remembrance about feeling rejected by this person. And this person will have had the same rejection wounds as well. But this may have made some of you a chaser in terms of trying to force things to work, trying to change this person, or placing your happiness or self-worth on this person's shoulders. So this person knew that you had set them up to be this perfect kind of person in a way. Maybe not perfect, but you know what I mean. They felt like you had put them in this position where you were placing your happiness on their shoulders, placing how you felt about yourself on their shoulders, placing so much pressure upon them. And no one can make us happy or feel loved if we don't feel our self-love, if we don't feel happy within. So they've subconsciously, or maybe consciously, they even realized that you were placing so much on their shoulders and making them responsible for your happiness. And no one can do that. And they felt like you were setting them up for failure. And they could tell that it wasn't working for you and it wasn't making you happy, and they were resistant and holding back because they knew that they couldn't play that role in your life. They couldn't be the one to fill in your voids. You needed to do that for yourself. And they felt like if they came too close to you, then you would realize that they weren't making you happy because you still weren't happy within yourself, kind of thing. And so they felt like you would constantly be disappointed in them, and so they didn't want that, obviously, and they didn't want to lose you and feel like if they got too close and you were disappointed still, then you might think, oh, this person isn't for me, and get bored of them or something and move on. So they were kind of waiting for you to be happy within yourself, because there's that happiness in reverse. Heart on. So this means basically feeling aroused because of love, their love for you. And also it's like their heart has been switched on. To me, the heart is a gateway to the soul truth and intuition. So that's why they have that deep understanding right now as well. So please check out my other readings. I have loads on here. What do they want to happen in your connection? What are they thinking and feeling? What is going to happen? So please check out my playlist. Also, if you would like a free additional reading every single week, which is exclusive to my email subscribers, then please sign up to those by clicking on the link below this video. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. So welcome to set of cards number 2. You've chosen the pink cluster crystal. How does this person currently feel about you? So there's the Knight of Wands in reverse, or defense in reverse. The Three of Cups, reunion. The Six of Wands in reverse, or success in reverse. The Knight of Swords, drama. Wow. The Two of Swords, crossroads. So there's a lot of intense energies here. The Four of Cups, boredom. The Lovers, choices. Death, transformation. That's an amazing card. I love that one. This is the first time I've used this deck. Three of Swords, wow, heartache. And Five of Wands, competition. Okay. So that competition kind of changes what I was picking up a little bit, but I'll say like both versions of what I'm picking up. You're so perfect. I don't think I can be that perfect. Okay. Can we start all over again? So this is my own creation, this deck, and you know, this was the initial print of it, and I've obviously realized there's a spelling mistake there, but I will correct that because I am aiming to sell these cards in the future. So can we start all over again? I was holding on too tight and it was too painful. I grew up with bad role models. I have no clue how to love you like you deserve. And you're the right person, but at the wrong time. Okay, so that will explain why there's been a lot of drama. Okay, so there's a lot of complicated energies here is what I'm feeling. Or this person is feeling like there's a lot of complications in your connection. Okay, so the Nine of Wands in reverse, defense in reverse. So it starts off with the defense in reverse, and next to it is the Three of Cups and reunion. So this person, they're currently feeling as though they wish that these defenses, these comfort zones, these fears would dissolve so that you can have a reunion. So what I'm picking up on is some of them, they have these choices between you and someone else. But for some of you, I'm feeling that they want you to let down your defenses. They want a reunion with you. Some of you have these other choices between them and someone else. Maybe you got bored with the state. They just feel like there's not going to be success here, so they may have become disheartened and heartbroken at the thought of things just not working out, or your connection may have been at a stalemate. I feel like this person has wanted reunion, they have wanted things to come forward, but they're seeing it as you've had your defenses up as well. Even if you didn't realize that, they can see that you had walls up. And you weren't fully choosing between love and fear either. I know some people will deny that, and okay, this reading may not resonate with you, but for a lot of people, watching this, I do feel like you had walls up and you were in a comfort zone. You have these swords, like defensively, like trying to protect your heart. Fears of heartbreak. And some of you may not have realized that until some tower moment or something happened, or there was a lack of success, because that success is in reverse. Maybe this connection came toppling down, but then it meant the illusions came toppling down as well, and there was a transformation with that Death card. But the Six of Wands, it normally shows the soldier coming home after being successful in battle, and the whole town's like cheering them on, and like they're a hero basically. So what I'm picking up on is this person has felt within your connection that you were wanting them to be a hero, to come in and save the day or rescue you or be that knight in shining armor. And, you know, I don't mean this to sound condescending, but sometimes, you know, we can kind of laugh at fairy tales, but then we can then realize that we still have had some of our own like fantasies regarding the conditioning that we've been brought up with. And so this person just didn't feel like they could really be successful in living up to your expectations or living up to your desires of what you wanted them to represent to you, what you wanted them to be. And so that may be why they had defenses up. They were like, if I get too close to her or if I get too close to him, they will see that I'm not who they want me to be, and they may reject me. You know, they may see me in a bad light. I may fall off the horse and no longer be a hero in this person's eyes. So some of them, they may have been wearing the masks to try and be what you wanted them to be, but they just didn't genuinely feel like they were capable of giving you or providing you with what you were wanting from them. And so that was why there was this crossroads kind of energy. They've wanted to move forward, but then they were afraid to. It's like that catch-22 that I've mentioned before. They were afraid to move close to you in case they disappointed you, like their true self, but they're also afraid of not moving towards you and that disappointing you. You may have been the one who had choices or had to make a choice between this person and someone else, because in this deck it's like the woman's looking away and it's the man that's looking at her and wanting her to choose him. But you may have got bored because there was drama, things going in circles, no forward movement, and you may have felt like it was becoming toxic, like putting your life on hold. I feel like this was no one's fault. I feel it's like they didn't feel good enough, and you may have deep down not felt good enough as well, and was secretly or subconsciously, wanting them to commit to you so then you could feel lovable after all, you know, if your inner child was feeling wounded and unlovable. So competition. They may be currently feeling that there's competition with someone else, like someone else has got your attention, or you're with someone else, or you've moved in a different direction. This could be that third party situation, or it could be both, you know. For some of you, this person may have chosen someone else, and so now you've walked away and you're with someone else, or it could have happened the other way around. However that resonates, but yeah, they're wanting the reunion and the defensiveness to be taken away. If they feel like you've put walls up, they want you to soften your heart, heal any heartbreak, and have a true transformation of this connection. You're so perfect. I don't think I can be that perfect. So they'd put you on a pedestal. Many of you had put them on a pedestal. And you both had the same fears that the other person was too good for you. And that Six of Wands can represent that pedestal and someone falling off the pedestal or fears of falling off that pedestal. So it led to stagnation. It's like this person was kind of there for you or was thinking about you, but then they weren't there for you in the 3D. And they were feeling the same way as well. Like you were always there for them, but they didn't want to take that leap of faith and disappoint you if you had some unrealistic expectations, surrounding them, you placing your happiness on their shoulders and making them responsible for that. Can we start all over again? So yeah, there's been a lot of drama. There's been a lot of roller coaster. This connection has got very tangled. I often think of twin flames as being a ball of wool. It's like you're both the same thread, but it's almost like they're one end of the thread and you're the other end of the thread, even though you're all one still. And then there's this huge knot in the middle, and twin flames have got to try and unravel that knot, but in the process and in a state of fear, it gets even more tangled up. I was holding on too tight and it was too painful. So yeah, they felt really, really deep longing, but there was just this energy of a stalemate. Many of us have this illusion that it's about the other person just making a decision to take action and make it happen and sort out like the commitment. But it's always an energetic dynamic. If we aren't in a place of self-love within ourselves, if we don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves, we cannot have a loving, healthy relationship with another, especially if it's twin flames, because they're mirrors of each other. So these blocks were on both sides, and I feel like you're both holding on to each other too tightly. There was too much codependency, which is a fear vibration. It's a belief in loss. We think, oh, I'm going to lose this person. So then we try and force it to work. We try and hold on to it at all costs. But that's subconsciously a belief that it's not going to happen. So we've got to hold on to it. So, whatever we believe is what we manifest due to the law of attraction. So if we believe it's going to fall apart and it's not going to work out, then sometimes it manifests in that way. I grew up with bad role models. I have no clue how to love you like you deserve. So yeah, this person knew that you deserved the best. They know that. And they just didn't feel like they were in a place to be able to provide you with what you deserved and what you were wanting and really needing at that time. They haven't known how to love themselves because of a difficult childhood. You're the right person, but at the wrong time. So, yeah, this person, they feel like more healing has to happen. That may be a contributing factor to why they may have moved in a different direction, or why you may have as well. Like it feels like the right person, but it's like that ball of wool is too tangled at this time. There needs to be more healing on both sides. So let's look into these messages here. How does this person truly feel about you? Disheartened. That's exactly what I said. They felt disheartened, or someone felt disheartened, or both felt disheartened, and so they thought, okay, maybe it's just not meant to be then if it's so complicated. And then they may have tested the waters with someone else, just to see, okay, well, maybe it's supposed to work out with this other person. But if they got with someone else, it's probably because there was lessons there to be learnt with that other person. Or for some, it may be another soulmate that you meet that you're supposed to be with. Inner child wounds. Yeah. Exactly what I mentioned. The inner child wounds were creating drama, triggering fear versus love. Because our inner child wounds are really, really brought up to the surface in these connections because they have to be worked through. And often twin flames can cling on to each other so tightly because they're trying to avoid facing those wounds of rejection and abandonment. And sometimes that's exactly what manifests heartbreak, like our biggest fears coming true. Feeling abandoned, feeling rejected, but it's so that we are forced to work through the wounds. Otherwise, we could spend a lifetime just trying to run away from them by focusing too much on getting that love and validation from our twin flame outside of ourselves. Reminiscing. So this person is reminiscing about the past, reminiscing about times you shared together, or if you were together in the past. Thinking about you a lot, having those regrets, like I said, wanting to return to more harmony with each other, fear of intimacy. So yeah, I feel like this was the mirrored energy, a fear of intimacy, a fear of being open and vulnerable, because that lays us wide open to be rejected. And so it's like both of you kind of pussyfooting around that fear, trying to somehow avoid facing that fear. But, you know, it wasn't working. That fear, that wound needed to be healed. And if you were holding on too tightly, then a tower moment likely happened to force you in separate directions to work through that fear, that wound, and really heal it individually within yourselves. So one final message. Longing. This person is deeply longing for you. And I feel like it became too painful. You know, when you really want like reunion and you feel like the other person's running away from you and you long for them so much, you long for their acceptance, you long for their approval, you long for their love and their loving words. And with this energetic misalignment, that wasn't happening. And this person was longing for you so much, but these wounds were blocking the reunion, and they just felt like they couldn't cope with that obsession that can come from such deep longing. You know, they felt so consumed by this, thinking about you all the time, thinking about how to make it work, intense worries about everything falling apart and losing you, you know, sleepless nights, not being able to concentrate on anything else, and feeling worried at the same time that time is ticking by, and you know, they may be missing out on finding that happiness with someone else if they felt like, oh, it's so complicated, then maybe it's not meant to be, kind of thing. So please check out my other readings. I have loads on here about what is going to happen in your connection, what they're currently thinking and feeling about you, what are their deepest desires moving forward for your connection. So please check out my playlists. And if you would like an additional reading every single week, which is exclusive to my email subscribers, then please sign up to those by clicking on the link below this video. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. So welcome to set of cards number 3. You have chosen the purple crystal. So how does this person truly feel about you at this time? So we've got the lovely Oceanic Tarot and my oracle cards, Our Eternal Love, with the channeled messages on. And then we're going to be pulling out some messages from the bag as well. Okay, so how does this person currently feel about you? So there's the Angel of the Ocean, which is temperance and healing. The Six of Swords, calm. The High Priestess and intuition. The Ace of Swords and victory. The Seven of Swords in reverse, or loss in reverse. Justice and balance. The King of Swords, ambition. Strength, stability. The Queen of Wands and passion. And the Ace of Cups, love. Okay. I can't get you out of my head. I'm sorry, I've been foolish and taken you for granted. I regret hurting you. You are always my number one and always will be. I can't bear this longing. And finally, I didn't realize what I had until it was too late. And then, like I said, we'll look into the messages in the bag after we've looked at these. Okay, so how does this person feel about you at this time? Okay. So I'm picking up on a lot of serenity, a lot of healing energy. We have healing, calm, intuition, victory. The loss is in reverse. Balance, stability, passion, love, ambition. So these are really lovely healing cards. This person is feeling much more optimistic about your connection. They're feeling, what I'm getting overall is they're having much more faith in this connection. Something's happened where they're now, at this time, truly believing in this connection. They may be feeling a deep connection to the divine. And they're hearing intuitively that healing is taking place, that they can trust in this connection, they can trust in the divine and the soul family that is watching over you and them and the relationship that you have. And just much more balance. There's all these infinity symbols here. This one here, the High Priestess. The Scales of balance, justice. Okay, so they really feel as though there's a major positive shift that's happening in your connection. You may be hearing from this person, or you may have reconnected with them. There's definitely some kind of victory here. They're feeling passionate love for you. Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love. So loss in reverse. This person has overcome the fear of loss. I feel they may have struggled in the past with codependency. Like they felt they needed you so much that they feared that they would absolutely be crushed and their world would be turned upside down completely, and that they'd never recover if you ended up parting ways. That was such a huge fear that this really held this person back for a long time. But something's happened either between you both, like as you are interacting, or something's happened internally within this person where they're just in much more calmness. So Six of Swords, some kind of issue or block has been resolved. This is moving away from adversity into a much brighter future, much more healthy, balanced future together. healing of the past. Some of you may have reconnected and had a really in-depth discussion or something like that. Or this person has just been receiving signs and synchronicities. Or, you know, they could have, for example, had a psychic reading done or something like that that's really just made them at peace to surrender and trust and allow things to unfold in the way that they're supposed to. So this is really, really positive. This is a reading about surrender. And as we know, in order to have our manifestation come in, we have to surrender. You know, we have to hand it over to the divine, because the divine sees the higher perspective. The divine knows how things need to unfold in the right way for everyone involved. And so there's definitely a sense of that. This person is really believing in victory. This is a major shift for this person. It could be that you both are having much more faith now because of the infinity symbol. It's like you're mirroring each other. One of you may have surrendered, so it's made the other person surrender as well, in a true sense. Loss in reverse. There may have been a sense of loss between you in the past, but you're resolving that now. You're feeling more connected than ever. And just feeling so much peace in this person's heart. Justice. So you both may have put in a lot of work into this connection to try and make it work in the past. There's been a lot of ambition in this person's heart for there to be stability and strength within your connection. This person has wanted to be the best version of themselves for you. They've wanted to be a good provider. They may have, you know, wanted to kind of rescue you kind of thing, even though, you know, no one can really do that. We need to be in a place of self-love. But they've had this ambition of being stable and strong within themselves, of being connected more intuitively and more confident. And, you know, there being a 50-50 balance and justice within your connection, a balance, a give and take. This person may be realizing that they are an equal. If in the past maybe they struggled to feel like they weren't good enough or something like that, they're now seeing and truly knowing that they are an equal. A major internal shift has happened here, and they're feeling a lot of passion. They may be in a place of realization that you still have this passion and love for them, and that you're wanting a new beginning with them as well. Some of them, they may have gone through a time where they doubted that you still wanted them if there was some kind of loss. Maybe you created justice and cut the ties for a while, or moved away from this connection for a while. There was a difficult transition in the past. Maybe you stepped into your power, and then it had a knock-on effect, a mirroring effect, where they stepped into their power, or vice versa. But yeah, they want balance in your connection. They have this ambition of stability and strength, being the best version of themselves for you. They feel very passionate about you, the Queen of Wands, and they feel this deep love, and they want a new beginning in love. And they're really believing in it. I can't get you out of my head. So they're thinking about you all the time. But I feel like it's an excited energy. I'm so sorry. I've been foolish and taken you for granted. I regret hurting you. So yeah, there was a loss in the past because they felt like, or they had been foolish in some kind of ways in terms of taking you for granted. But now they want to create justice for that. They want to be that King of Swords. They want to express their truth. Ace of Swords is that as well. They want to be their true, authentic self. No beating around the bush. They want to cut to the chase. Be direct. Be authentic. You are always my number one and always will be. So this means that they love you more than they love anyone else. It could be that there was a third party situation, like another person involved perhaps, and that's why it hurt you and took you for granted. Justice, it could be that some of them are going through a divorce, or they've had a divorce now and now they feel healed and ready to be with you. I can't bear this longing. So yeah, this is right next to the Passion card as well. They're deeply longing for a passionate new beginning. They may be having like fantasies and desires as well. I didn't realize what I had until it was too late. So yeah. It was only when you walked away they realized the depth of their emotions, and they realized how much work you put into the connection and how you were always there for them. So let's look into these messages here. Taking action. Wow. Yeah, but that's what I'm feeling. There's these swords about being their true self, victory, taking action, cutting the ties to things that are no longer serving them, justice, you know, being a good provider, really being there for you, coming forward, taking action, reaching out. Make you jealous. That may have been one of the issues in the past. There may have been playing some mind games. They may have been with someone else and they were trying to make you jealous just to find out if you still had feelings for them and things like that, which are kind of messed up. And it was injustice. It wasn't fair. But they have regrets about that now. They may have thought that you would always kind of hang around no matter what, so they could take their time whilst they avoided doing their healing work. But then I feel like they were surprised if you walked away, and it really frightened them in the past. So they've worked really hard to actually do the real healing work. Different paths. So yeah, you had to go down different paths for a while in order, most likely, for you to learn healthy boundaries, for you to learn to love yourself and not, you know, keep trying to prove yourself and look for love and approval from this person. You may have needed to part ways so that you could have self-love and know that your worth is not dependent upon what anyone else says or does or doesn't do. Knowing your worthiness from within, and that different path has helped this person awaken and realize their mistakes and realize what their true priorities are, which I feel is you and the connection, and therefore doing the right thing, making amends, putting things right. Expectations. Okay. So you may have had expectations of this person that they didn't feel like they could live up to. And so in a way they were procrastinating and not stepping up or delivering on their promises because they felt like you were expecting them to make you happy, like you were placing your happiness on their shoulders and making them responsible for your feelings, kind of thing. And they basically knew deep down that they could never make you happy if you weren't happy within yourself. And that may have led to a separation if expectations weren't met. But then that separation has led to a lot of epiphanies and awareness that was needed to move your connection forward in a much more balanced and healthy way. So one final message. too good for me. So yeah, this person felt that you were too good for them. They didn't feel that they could live up to your expectations. So that created a lot of the fear and the resistance and the procrastination. So please check out my other readings. I've got loads on here about what actions is this person going to take? How is your connection going to move forward? What's going to happen between you? So please look at my playlist. If you would like an additional free reading every single week, which is exclusive to my email subscribers, then please also sign up to those by clicking on the link below this video. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye.